Hi there everyone and welcome back. Have you ever looked at one of your black and white photos and just felt like something was missing? Well, you're not alone, as many photographers struggle to make their monochrome image come to life. And it often comes down to one overlooked aspect. So tag along with me and I'll show you where you're going wrong. So welcome to the editing part. This is the image we'll be editing. It's a black and white image, and I'm going to show you how to take your black and white images one step further into fine art photography. I'm going to use Adobe Camera Raw. You can use Lightroom, no difference. And I'm going to start by using the exposure panel on the right, and then I'll be showing you the best part to turn your images into black and white fine art. So let's start by reducing the highlights. And that way we have more detail in the sky. And I'm gonna increase the shadows so we get some detail in these darker parts. Raise the shadows a bit. And next, what I always do, I move the white slider to the right until I see clippings on the histogram up here. And just dial it down until they're gone. I do the same for the blacks. On the left side you have clippings, so go back down until it disappears. Next I'm going to increase the contrast just a bit. And I'm going to reduce the exposure so we level out our histogram. Somewhere there. Now you're going to say it doesn't look that bad how it is, but like I said, we're going to take it much further with some masking. So let's head over to the masking. I'm going to start by using the linear gradient, which I'm going to place over the sky and pull it down nearly midway. You're going to say you're covering the mountains, the hillsides. So what we need to do, go over to the mask, click on these three dots here, and click intersect mask with sky. Select sky. Let the software do its work, and you're going to see the mask is going to disappear from the hills. And there we have just the sky selected. Do not use select sky instead of using a linear gradient, because you will not have any gradient from the top going down to the middle. And now I'm going to reduce the exposure. To somewhat there. I'm going to head over to create new mask, and I'm going to use another linear gradient. Place it over the sky, but not go down like we did on the first mask. Just go down around there. Reduce the exposure again. Should be okay. I'm going to use another linear gradient and use it for the foreground now. I'm going to raise it to about there and reduce the exposure. Now I'm going to show you the difference without these masking. It's before and that's after. We're not ready for the masking, so don't think that's it. And now I'm going to use a radial gradient. And now we'll be doing some dodge and burn, but using the radial gradient instead of a brush. First thing I'm going to do with the radial gradient is place it over the whiter parts of the image, like here. Make sure your feathering is 100, up to 100, and just increase this exposure, just subtle movements, not too much because it gets weird, it gives you that weird look, which is not natural. I think somewhere there should be good. I'm going to open up a bit more. And now we'll be using quite a few radial gradients since we'll be doing dodging and burning. I'm going to do another one over here. I'm going to try and hurry up for you guys so the video is not too long and you get bored. But stick with me because you're going to see the amazing difference with these masks. I'm going to raise the exposure. Should be okay there. And next I'm going to do another radial gradient, and I'm going to place it over these white parts here. And I'm going to raise the exposure. I'll be doing some dodging burst first, and then I'm going to switch over to burning. I'm going to carry on with the radials. I'm going to use it for this rock here, the top part. Another one, radial gradient for here. And another one, a radial gradient for down here. Raise the exposure. Another one. I'm going to do it over here. Now I'm going to do another radial gradient, and I'm going to place it over these grasses here. I'm going to carry on with the radial gradients. I'm going to place it here. Okay. And now I'm going to place one over the water here. And increase it. And here I'm going to go down to the texture, and I'm going to increase it to about there, so we get more detail in the water. I'm going to use another radial for this side now. Increase it. And I'm going to increase the texture also. Should be okay. I think this is going to be the last one. Over here. And I'm going to do the last one for this footpath here. Should Be okay. Increase the exposure. And now I'm going to do another radial gradient, but now we're going to do some burning. And I'm going to put it over these bushes here. And now we're going to reduce the exposure. Turn it a bit more. Open it. Another one, radial gradient over here. Reduce the exposure. Should be okay. And next, I'm going to do another radial gradient. I'm not doing much burning. And I'm going to put a radial gradient over the middle part of the image, which is the brightest part. So we draw the viewer's eye to the center of the image. I'm going to open it up a bit more. And I'm going to increase the exposure just a bit to about there. I'm going to do another radial gradient, but now I'll be doing a vignette. I like to do a natural vignette. Place it where you want. Depends on the light source from where it's coming, but this seems to be coming from the middle part of the image. Even it out. And don't forget to invert it on this little square here. And I'm going to reduce the exposure for a vignette. And we should be okay. I'm going to go back to these area of the mask. It's a great thing about this masking. You can go back to where you started and check your masking. If you hover over the numbers on your mask, it will highlight the red part. Click on it, and I'm going to increase it just a bit more. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to do the same for these other masks. Because since we reduced, since we done a vignette, it's going to show us I can increase it, the other masking, radial masking, just a bit more. And I think it's going to be the last one. I'm going to head out of the masking. I'm going to reduce the image size. And you can see the difference with all these masks. I'm going to show you the before and after. This is with the masking, and this is without the masking. You can see the amazing difference by just using some masks. You're going to say, I used a lot, but if you can do it much faster, I slow down so you guys will get the hang of it and see what I'm doing. Before and after. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Hope you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. Leave any comments below and I'll be answering them as soon as I can. Thank you guys, and see you in another video.